Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a process that's absolutely critical for modern business, but often seems super complex: SAP Convergent Invoicing. We're going to follow one single transaction, step by step, from the moment it's created all the way to its final resting place in the financial records.
You know, that's actually the perfect example of this process in action. Being able to pull together all those different charges into one single, accurate invoice is a massive challenge for companies, and that is exactly what SAP Convergent Invoicing is designed to solve.
So, to make this real, we're going to track a transaction from a company we'll call the Print Service Corporation and their customer, Bovie. Let's trace this thing from start to finish.
Okay, this is our roadmap. This is the journey our little transaction is about to take. These are the 5 major phases it's going to pass through, and each step transforms it into something new. So let's start right at the beginning.
All right, so our journey kicks off with a billing document. I want you to think of this as the initial spark. It's the first official record that a charge even exists and needs to be invoiced. It's the system's way of saying, hey, this customer owes us money for something.
And here it is. This is our starting point. Print Service Corp creates this billing document for their customer, Bovie. As you can see, the total is €40.90, and that covers Bovie's monthly fee plus some other usage charges.
Now, as soon as that happens, the system instantly creates something called an invoicing order. Honestly, the best way to think of this is like getting a ticket for a waiting room. It's not the invoice itself. It's just holding a spot in line for our billing document, signaling that it's all ready for the main event.
And if you look closely, you can see how this invoicing order points right back to our original billing document. It's just a temporary little flag stored in a table called DFKKNV-trig. Its whole job is to say, hey, I'm ready, and once the real invoice gets made, poof, this little guy is deleted.
Okay, now we move to the invoicing process. If the billing document was the spark, this right here is the assembly line. Its whole job is to gather up all the different little pieces that should end up together on one single invoice for the customer. This is absolutely critical for any business that deals with tons of transactions from all over the place.
So, back to our roadmap for a second. We're right here at step 3, the invoicing process. This is where the system really starts pulling everything together.
So what does that actually mean? Well, the whole point here is consolidation, right? The system goes out and scans for all those little ready for invoicing tickets for one specific customer, and it bundles them all up into what's called an invoicing unit. This grouping is the key to creating a single coherent bill.
And this is where the convergence, the magic, really happens. The system doesn't just find our service bill from phase 1. Nope, it scans for all the items that are ready to be billed for Bovie. And in this case, it finds out that Bovie also bought some hardware, a totally separate transaction.
See, the system is smart. It picks up both our original €40.90 service charge and this separate €25 hardware charge that came from a sales document. We've got 2 different sources, one customer, and they're all headed for one invoice.
And this shows that core function perfectly. Both items are now grouped into one single invoicing unit. They've been brought together, and they're ready to be processed as one single unified bill. All right, with all our pieces gathered up and grouped together, the system is ready for the main event, creating the master document, the final invoicing document that the customer will actually see, and then applying all the final business logic to it. Now, what's so cool here is how the system takes that total amount and breaks it down into these clear, distinct line items. You'll notice it even splits that original service bill into its 2 parts and adds the hardware sale, tracing each line right back to its source. That kind of clarity is just crucial.
But hold on, we're not done yet. It's not just about adding things up. The system can now run a bunch of invoicing functions to apply the final rules of the road. This is where things like special customer discounts or existing credits on an account come into play.
Okay, let's watch this play out. The system starts with the gross amount we calculated in the invoicing unit, €65.90.
Then boom, an invoicing function kicks in. It sees that Bovie is eligible for a 5% customer discount, which it automatically calculates and applies, bringing the total down.
And it doesn't stop there. Another function checks Bovie's account, finds a €10 credit from a previous overpayment, and says, hey, let's use that right now against this new invoice. And finally, after applying those discounts and credits, and then adding the necessary tax, we get our final bottom line number, This is what the customer actually owes. It's just a beautiful, powerful, automated sequence.
We are in the home stretch now. Our transaction is about to complete its journey. The process now creates the permanent, official financial record in SAP's Finance and Contract Accounting module, or what everyone just calls FICA. This is the book of record.
So this is the formal accounting entry. This is what the finance department sees. In simple terms, it shows what the customer owes as a receivable, that's the debit, and then it breaks down exactly where all that money is allocated, to different revenue accounts, the discount account, and of course, the tax man. It's perfectly balanced.
And this right here brings us to maybe the most important takeaway of this whole thing: traceability. Every single number in that final accounting document can be perfectly traced back through the invoicing document, the billing document, all the way to the original transaction that started it all. There are no black boxes here.
And that really is the power of a structured, convergent document flow. Thanks for joining me on this journey today.